Now let's look at managing system D services. Now, what are these system D services? These are programs or applications that are designed to run in the background. So they run in the background in your Linux operating system. Some common examples of these system D services include network services, maybe say like Apache server, an Apache web server. We also have a service like database services, maybe MySQL as an example. We also have logging service. We have an example like RS log D, and then we also have scheduling service, maybe a service like a cron. So if you have a service like network service or a database service or a logging service or a scheduling service that runs in the background, we call this service a system D service. And with this system D services, there are major commands which you must know. So with system D services, the first command that we should understand is one, starting a service. And for you to start a system D service, we make use of the command system ctl start, and then you give the service name. For example, if you've installed a service like Jenkins or Docker, we can do system ctl start Docker. This will start the Docker service, or system ctl start Nginx. This will start the Nginx service. So for you to start a service, you do system ctl start, and then you give the service name. The second one we have is to stop the service, stopping a service. And for you to stop a system D service, you do that using the system ctl stop, then you give the service name. So assume you want to stop a service like Nginx, you can do system ctl stop Nginx, and this will stop the Nginx web server. So just to recap, to stop a service, we make use of the command system ctl stop, and then you give the service name. Also, if you want a service to run automatically once your Linux system comes on, we call that enabling a service. So if you want to enable a service on boot of your system, you can call that, or we can do that using enabling a service. So we'll also be looking at enabling a service automatically at boot. That means if the moment your system comes on or your server comes on and you want a particular service to start automatically, how do you go about that? And for you to start the system automatically, you can go about that using the system ctl enable, and then you give the service name. An example might be system ctl enable Nginx. So this will automatically start the Nginx service. The last command we should understand is checking the status of a service. So lastly, let's look at checking a service status. So for you to check the status of a service, you can do that using the system ctl status, and then you give the service name. So for example, we can have system ctl status Nginx, or we can have system ctl status Jenkins. This will give you the possibility to know the status of the Nginx service or the status of the Jenkins service. So let's get into our terminal and test how we can use systemctl commands. We are on our terminal and we are going to be testing the systemd services with the Jenkins service. So let's go ahead and install Jenkins, and for us to install Jenkins, we do sudo yum update, sudo yum update, then we do -y to automatically allow. It's up, our system is up to date. Then we download the Jenkins package. You should download the Jenkins package. After downloading the Jenkins package, we run a command to get the stable version of Jenkins. Once you get the stable version of Jenkins, and then the next command is to install Amazon Linux extras. You get Amazon Linux extra. It's installing. Click yes. After getting all these packages, the next thing is to install the Jenkins service. All these installations that we're doing are the dependencies for Jenkins. Now, once it's complete, we now install the Jenkins service using the sudo yum install Jenkins because we've downloaded all its dependencies. So we do that sudo yum install Jenkins -y to automatically say yes. Now, once the Jenkins service is installed, for you to check the status of Jenkins, like we said, we start with our first command, sudo system ctl status Jenkins. And if you do that, it will tell us the Jenkins service is inactive or dead. So Jenkins, the service Jenkins service is a continuous integration server, and this server is in the user library dash path, and this service is currently inactive. Let's begin by enabling our Jenkins service to start automatically. So to enable the service, we do sudo system ctl enable Jenkins. So you now see systemd and everything. The system will has created the system path so that you can start automatically on boot. The next thing is for us to start, we can still check the status at this point, sudo system ctl status Jenkins, and the service is still inactive. Now, for us to start the Jenkins service, like we mentioned, we do that using the command sudo system ctl start Jenkins. And once you do that, it's starting the service. You can press Ctrl C if it seems stuck. Once you do that, the service has started. You normally ought to have started the service as a root user, so we do sudo system ctl status Jenkins. I now see the service has been activated or is currently activating and is about to get started. You can still run the command again just to be sure, or you can recall, and then we hit enter. You now see the service is active and running for you to know the status or the state of a service. For us to stop the Jenkins service, we still use the same command. Let's clear. So now if you do sudo system ctl stop Jenkins, is going to stop the Jenkins service. For you to confirm that, you can do the sudo system ctl status Jenkins. I now see that the service is inactive and dead. So this way, you've been able to create a service like Jenkins, enable the service, started the service, and stop the service. So let's clear our screen. Now let's do the last example with the Nginx service. We are going to start by installing Nginx. So we do the sudo yum install Nginx. Oh, we give it the wrong name. There's no packages. We give it again sudo yum install Nginx. Now it says there's no package available, but you can get the Nginx package using Amazon Linux Extras and install Nginx. So I'll just copy this, copy, and I paste, and you hit enter. It's downloading the Nginx package. Click yes. So the package has completely installed. You clear your screen. Now let's check the status of the Nginx service. Let's do sudo systemctl status Nginx. You now see that the Nginx service is inactive or it is dead. For us to enable the service to start upon boot of our system, we do sudo systemctl enable Nginx. So it has enabled the Nginx service, and then now for us to start the service, do sudo systemctl start Nginx. So this will start our Nginx service. For us to confirm that, we can do sudo systemctl status Nginx. Oh, we didn't put in the command rightly. We do sudo systemctl status Nginx, and it will tell us our Nginx service is up and running. So that is how we manage systemd services in Linux.